So we sparks up. We outside at the table by the patio. So we get to a half, boom. Kiki, she flames up. Boom. Raymond, he flames up. Boom. Now we got 3 blunts in the rotation. Shanice and the flame. We got 3 blunts in the rotation, right? So I'm over there like, and Kiki, everybody just talking. So I'm eyeing Kiki because Kiki ain't saying nothing. She ain't saying not one word, right? She just really in the cut. So I'm like, I go over there, I'm like, you okay? She like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, we done with the session. I'm like, I want to talk to you. She like, okay. So I'm like, all right. So Raymond like, hey, I can't wait till we go over to his crib. So Marky like, yeah, we gonna be on dummy. What we gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, let me think. Like, I don't know what's the plan. I just know that I know where he live and we gonna pop up at his crib. But I don't know. No, I do not want to egg the house. No, I do not. See, Marky be want to do all that crazy stuff. I don't want to do that. If I'm coming to your crib to pay you a visit, I want you to see me because I want to see you. I ain't got time to be playing with your crib. I want to see you. So boom, like, y'all, let's have a couple of more shots. So I go hurry up, run in the house. I grab the bottle because we left the bottle right there in the kitchen. So boom, I grab the bottle, run back outside. We pull more shots, pop, 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 have more shots. So I'm like, y'all ready? So Marky like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, let me go check on Caleb. I'm like, Kiki, come here. Boom. She walks off with me. So Marky like, is you checking on Caleb or you finna get some meow? I'm like, get some what? He like, meow. I'm like, no, I'm not getting no meow. What the? What? No, I'm not getting no meow. You nosy. Get out my business. So I looked at her. I said, how about you worry about Shanice? So Raymond started busting up laughing. Raymond died laughing. Shanice like, don't drag me in it. So boom, we walk off. So I grab her by her arm. She let me grab her by her arm. I'm like, come on. So boom, we go in the house. I'm like, hey, go to my room. So she goes upstairs to the room. Immediately, I start warming up the oven because I know Caleb gonna want some cookies. I knock on his door. I'm like, what the world? So I open up the door. It's unlocked. Caleb don't never have his door unlocked. I open up the door. He ain't in his room. I'm like, immediately, I panicked. I ran downstairs. Like, what could, Caleb, I'm calling this boy name. I'm like, oh my God. I went in the toy room. I looked. I'm like, oh my God. Where is Caleb? So now I shoots out in the back. Marky, Caleb not in his room. So Shanice like, what? I'm like, he not in his room. She like, he was in his room though. I'm like, I'm telling you, he's not in his room. I just went up there. So Marky like, maybe he downstairs. I'm like, I checked downstairs. Come on, help me look for him. So now everybody in the house. Caleb Booming. We are calling this boy name. So Marky like, did you check in mom's room? I'm like, no, I didn't check in my room. So Kiki opened up my room door. She like, what's wrong? I'm like, my little brother is missing. She like, missing? What was the last place he was at? I'm like, in his room. So we go in my mom's room. We looking in both of her closets, under the bed. It ain't that too many places to hide. So I was like, he not in here. So I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, my mama is, I'm so dead meat. I'm so dead. That's all I could think about. Like, everything was blown. All the blunts I had, all the Zaza I blowed and smoked out there, I was blown. I was upset and I'm panicking. So Marky like, you think he left out? So now we go outside the house, all of us. Go outside the house. We walk up to the park. We walk right back where we like to go down that long little hill. We walk places that we knew that he would try to be at. So we even go in the garage to see if the bikes, the skates, anything is gone, the scooter gone, anything is gone. Nothing is gone. All of his gadgets and gadgets is there. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm finna call mom. So all of a sudden, Marky was like, did you check in the laundry room? I said, Marky, why would he be in the laundry room? He like, I'm saying he probably in the laundry room. I'm like, no. I'm like, he wasn't going no laundry room. So I go downstairs and we all go. I go in the laundry room. I don't see Caleb. So I'm like, Caleb. I don't hear nothing. As we all turning around, flicking off the lights and going upstairs, all you hear is help, help, help. Y'all heard that? So Marky like, heard what? I'm like, shh. So you hear do, help, help. I'm like, that's Boo Man. He like, Brody, Dodie. You can hear his voice, but it's like, you can't hear it clear. You can't hear it clearly. So Marky like, that is Boo Man. So Shanice like, shh. So Kiki like, I heard it. So he like, you hear boo, 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 boo. That's the sounds. Man, I turn around, I flick the light on. So I'm like, Boo Man. He like, help, help. So I'm trying to like let my ears follow the voice. So I'm like, I go and it's getting for me. It's getting closer and closer and closer. I'm getting warmer. I go back in the laundry room. The sound is coming from the dryer. The sound is coming from the dryer. So we all standing there. So I'm like, I hit the dryer. Do. He like, open it up. I said, Boo Man, you in the dryer? He like, help me. I'm like, I should cut the dryer on right now and dry. He like, please. No. So now he's being dramatic. Do. But he can't get out. So I guess when we shut that door, see, because I don't know how it operate because I never went inside of it. So I don't know how it operates from the inside. But I'm assuming when you shut it, it's locked and somebody on the outside got to pull it the lock. So I said, why did you get in there? He like, please, I can't breathe. He got bronchitis. So I had to take that as a panicness. So I open up, pop. He come up there, he like, look like he died. I'm like, Boo Man. So I grab him. I'm like, why did you go in there? He like, whole face like a tomato. I'm like, calm down, breathe. So Shanice like, come here, Kiki. Like, come here. He like, so we sit there, Marky like, man, why did he get it? This kid out me out, bro. We ain't never did this when he was his age. I'm like, why did you get in the dryer? And he was like, because I wanted to play a prank on y'all and hide. And I said, out of all the places, you decide to hide in the dryer? Out of all the places you could have hid, I would have even took you had on top of the refrigerator. You the head in the dry. First off, that's what your mom, that's the idea of hiding your mom. I wouldn't have thought to look in the dryer. That's a good hiding spot. Nobody. But if I was drying and I wanted to put some extra time in there, and I would have cut that out, I would have heard a human person. I'm like, never do that again. Go upstairs. I'm like, I'm finna make your cookies. He like, I don't want any cookies. I'm like, you want popcorn? He like, I don't want any popcorn. Shanice like, oh, I'll be upstairs, okay, Caleb? And so Kiki like, you want me to come with that? He like, you too. Not you too. I looked at him and said, get upstairs. I'm like, you shouldn't have got in the dryer. So Marky laughing. Raymond like, your brother is funny. I'm like, I don't know who personality he have. I'm like, in the dryer? So I was blown. So we all like, look, let's have some more shots, right? So boom, we had some more shots, but we having shots in the kitchen. So boom, I'm like, hey, Kiki, let me talk to you. I'm like, y'all, I'll be right back. I'm like, Marky, cut off the oven for me because I had preheated the oven thinking that Boo Man was going to have cookies, but he too busy just starting off a human dryer. You feel me? So I go upstairs. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. She like, nah, it's okay. I'm like, you look pretty. She like, thank you. So why it seem like you're so quiet? All you feel is zzz, 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 zzz. You can hear the zzz, 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 zzz. You can hear it, the vibration from my phone in my pocket. So she like, you want to get that? I'm like, nah, but I dug in my pocket. I'm like, it was Piper. I'm like, she like answered. I'm like, nah. She like, where that show, Baby Kenyatta? I'm like, stop. I'm like, I don't like that girl. So she like, you don't like her? I'm like, no, I don't like that girl. So she come up close to me. So she said, you don't like her? I'm like, no, I don't like that girl, right? So as I come close to her and we're talking, right? We're talking. So she like, so what did y'all do on the get together? I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. She like, well, I asked her straight up. I'm like, she like, call her, tell her to come over here so I can figure out what y'all did on the get together. I'm like, we didn't do nothing. So she grabbed my pockets. Now, the way I was standing, I was close to the wall. She was in front of me. So this the wall, she's in front of me. So she started grabbing in my pockets. I'm backing up close to the wall. I'm like, no, stop. She like, Roshan, give me your phone. I want to call her so I can ask her myself since she gave me the information. I'm like, we didn't do nothing. So boom, she pushed me on the wall. She come closer and then she put her hands like this so it could be like right around my neck area. So she like, y'all didn't do nothing. I'm like, no, we didn't do nothing. So I grabbed her by her hips and I pulled her closer. Boom. I'm like, no, we didn't do nothing. She like, nothing. I'm like, she like, tell me, Roshan. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you gotta promise not to get mad. She like, I'm not promising anything. I'm like, see, so I can't tell you. I'm like, I'm finna go. She like, nope. So I'm like, and so then she grabbed my hands because I wasn't grabbing her hips no more. She grabbed my hands and placed them back on her hips. My hands on her hips and put her hands back on the wall. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, me and you we went together. I didn't even know. I thought you was liking Christopher or whatever. But that day, she was kind of like the last one to leave. But she had came back. And she said she left something. And I was being a gentleman. I just went back there to make sure that she didn't and try to help her look for whatever she misplaced. And she like, I'm like, we did it outside by the gate. So she was like, you what? I'm like, wait. I'm like, it wasn't no feelings in it. I didn't have no feelings in it. She like, you didn't have no, but you attracted to her? I'm like, no, I'm not. You was in Christopher's face. She like, I got her. I'm like, no, I'm like, chill. I'm like, look, you're my girlfriend now. You wasn't then. So she like, I have to look at her every day at work, knowing that she my boyfriend. I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, can you stay here while we go do what we finna go do? And she like, you want me to stay here or you want Kenyatta to stay here? I'm like, stop. I'm like, you gonna stay here? She like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, give me a kiss. So she like, did you kiss her? I'm like, no, I didn't kiss her. I didn't go down. I ain't do none of that. I'm like, we just did it outside. She like, did she kiss you? I'm like, no, she didn't kiss me. She like, okay. So boom, we kissed each other. So in my mind, after I walked out my room, she stayed in there. I was like, man, I probably should have asked her for the keys or have her to drive us over there. But I don't want to put her in harm's way. We just going to get, you know what I'm saying, on the bus and go. So Shanice and Marky, they done dip downstairs. So I go down. I'm like, I look at Raymond. I'm like, hey. I'm like, what Marky? He like, they downstairs. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So boom, I go downstairs. Do. He like, open. Marky got Shanice Zaza on his dresser. He breaking down rolling. He like, we're gonna have one more smoke break before we go. I'm like, hey, I'm like, the girls got to stay here. I'm like, y'all make sure Caleb good, Shanice. I'm like, I don't care. Don't open up the door for nobody. She like, what if your grandpapa come? I'm like, you just make sure you stay, you know what I'm saying, in Caleb's room. I'm like, or you can stay in my room with Kiki if you want to, depending on how y'all work that out. She was like, all right, cool. I'm like, don't open the door. I don't care who ring the bell. I'm like, Grandpapa got the key. If he come in, by the time he knock on Caleb's door, you can be in the head somewhere. She like, all right, cool. Boom. That's it. So, boom. Marky rolls up. We outside in the back. Everybody outside, all of us. Boom, we smoke. We're ready now. All right. Let me have me a shot before I go. Marky like, give me one, same cup. Raymond like, give me one, same cup. I'm like, now that's wild. That was wild right there. But Raymond, he was like a brother to me. So boom, we go on here, we dip. So Shanice and Kiki, they're like, y'all be safe. I'm like, we're gonna be good. So boom, we leave. So Marky like, what we gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. Let's just go. So boom, we gets on the bus. We ain't run into nobody. We ain't go get Roy, none of that. We gets on the bus. Boom, as we get on the bus, we shoot. Now, we ain't even hit Roy up. We could have hit Roy up, but I didn't want to play with it. Because the thing is, I didn't know how it was going to work out with my grandpapa popping up. So, I could have hit Roy up, but it was a lot going on just in that little scene right there. So, it was like, I wasn't even thinking about hitting him up. So, boom, we end up getting on the bus. We gets there, right? So, I'm like, man, that's his house right there. So Marky like, yeah, he like all the lights on. So you see somebody else, people going in. So he like, is he having a party? Raymond like, he is. I'm like, bet. I'm like, all right, y'all, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So Marky already know what that means. So Raymond like, wait, I'm like, rock, paper, scissors. So I'm like, but we gonna call it rock, paper, scissors, shoot because we got a third person, right? So he like, all right. So I'm like, all right, ready, set, go. I'm like, rock, paper, scissors. So me and Marky and Raymond all pick brick. So I'm like, all right, let's do it again. Rock, paper, scissors. So now you know that 9 out of 10, I know that Marky gonna do the same thing. Boom. Raymond do paper right with me. So I'm like, up, paper cover brick. I'm like, so Marky, look, this the plan. I'm like, yeah, he having a party. So you see people going in, you see people coming in, you see people. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, look, you want to go to the front or you want to go to the back? He like, I'll go to the front. I'm like, all right. Me and Raymond, I'm like, bro, we going to go to the back. He like, okay. I'm like, we going to go to the party. He like, we going to go to the party. I'm like, yeah, we going to go to the party. We going to show up. So I'm like, we going to go to the back. So Marky like, when I'm like, look, you watch us go to the back. I count to 5. You ring the bell or you go straight in from the front. All right, cool. We split our ways. With me and Raymond, we go around the back. Marky by himself, he in the front. So it's a slide door. They had a slide door for the back. So I was trying to pull it, but it was locked. So people like, they in there, but the blinds open. They in there getting crazy. So I'm hitting on it. So somebody see me. So girl, she like, she don't like it. She like, oh, you should have just went around the front. Christopher would kill us if we let anybody through the back. Boom. I'm like, my bad. I'm like, I had to use it. She like, why you just didn't use the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, somebody was in there. So boom. I'm like, excuse me. So I'm like, I'm trying to like, where's Marky, right? Raymond like, I can't believe we in here. I'm like, we got him. So I'm like, I don't know where he at. Now, mind you, this his crib. His people's probably in there. We don't know, but we peeping the scene out. So boom, I go straight to the front. As I'm going to the front, Marky walks in. I'm like, so now we in the huddle. So Marky like, what we finna do? I'm like, oh no. I'm like, let's find a bathroom. So boom, I'm looking, open up the room, like, oh, that's somebody's room, like somebody's bedroom. Boom, we open up another door. I'm like, eh. Boom, we open up another door. That's the bathroom. We go in there. I'm like, all right, we shut the door. So Marky like, what we finna do? I'm like, we gotta find where he at. So he like, how we gonna do it? I'm like, we just gotta scope the party. So he like, all right, cool. We leave. I'm like, we gotta stick together, y'all. I'm like, it's a dope little party though. Boom, we come out. So now we in the party. So Marky like, let's get a drink. All right, cool. So we go over there, we get a drink. So now when you go up the stairs, it's still, the party's still going on upstairs. So I'm going upstairs, I'm like, excuse me. So somebody say, hey, Christopher, you got any more empties? You got a Philly? Actually, did he have a Philly? He like, no, I got a Vega. So I'm like, come on, y'all. So we go upstairs. So he in the room. He in the room with the door crack. You can hear him with a girl. So he talking to a girl. So I'm like, yo, we in there. So Marky like, you ready? I'm like, wait. So as people coming in, like, excuse me. So I'm like, oh, my bad. So I'm like, we gotta make a move. So Marky like, let's make a move right now. Boom, push. They like, yeah, what's up, Christopher? Christopher like, man, what y'all doing in my crib? Him and this girl was sitting on the bed. They wasn't doing nothing, but he was definitely, they was about to. So she like, she hurried up and got out of Dodge. I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, I thought since she was coming to my crib, we could pay your crib a visit. Raymond like, yeah, what's up? Raymond grabs him. Whoop, so he, man, get up off me. Boom, he pushed Raymond. By that time, Marky ready to connect. Boom, we dragged him out the room. We're dragging him downstairs. So it's people on the stairs. It's people. Okay. It is people on the stairs talking, dancing, smoking. They doing everything. Now, mind you, Miss Shirley said she was sending the cops. She ain't never sent the cops because this man having a whole full party. Okay, so boom, we pulling him. So he like, let me go. So he like, AT. Right? He's screaming, but the music's so loud. People just like, yo, what's happening? So one of the guys catch, they're like, hey, yo, chill. They grab me straight up. Boom.